Monday, September 21st, we're going to continue editing the serial story. I'll try to do this quickly. But we're going to pick up where we left off. And um, let's start looking at this paragraph as he was driving away in a panic mode. Okay. Um, this book right here is worth you looking at. Strung and White, The Elements of Style. It's on the syllabus, and it talks about omitting needless words. Omit needless words. We're going to try to do that here. So watch carefully while we edit. As he drove away, make the verbs active, in panic. Mode is one of those generic words. All you can think about. Now here's the case of wordiness. The mental images that kept replaying in its head, in his head. Mental images are of necessity in a person's head. So all you could think about was the image of the figure. This figure, when he had seen it, because again we're writing in the past tense, so he saw that before the now of the story. In the dim light, the muscular figure stood about 6'3", so about 6'3" There we go. And that's wrong. Get its and its right. He wondered fearfully if he had really killed this figure. Farther is actual distance, further is figures of distance. The farther John, again we're writing in the simple past tense, which is the natural way to tell a story, drove away, the more the feeling of guilt kicked in. Okay, let's pause. Okay, we gotta correct some spelling here. Okay, this is good. Bringing in John's father. Tells us something about John. Okay. Good. He could. How about just remember the entire scene? Again, we want to move the story rather than get bogged down in language. Okay. What stuck with him most were its eyes. Most strongly. Well, let's say most vividly. Were its eyes. Now, you shouldn't say or lack of them because he has eyes. The figure had eyes. They were just okay, we already know that the creature is tall, so there's no need. And that just needs to be a comma. So don't tell the reader what the reader already knows. What stood out was their depth. Never before had John seen such hatred. The blackness terrified John. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take this sentence and cut it and move it after the description. Paste. Blackness terrified John. He stepped a little harder on the gas pedal. Again, because we don't want to be repetitive. We want to move the story. Okay. A little problem with line spacing, but character spacing, but I'll come back and fix that. Okay, let's just get rid of that and talk about John's reaction. John found himself haunted as to whether or not he had killed the figure. Okay, he hoped he had, but he had to know for sure. Though far from a moral man. Okay, let's take out that because I don't know what that even means. If he had not finished the job, we're in John's head because it's his point of view. If he had not finished the job, people were going to die. Okay. Okay, let's just skip that mechanical business of moving him around. This is good. Caring about other people is going to be the death of me. Italics indicates that that's his thought. Okay. So we don't need to tell the reader that's his thought because we've already told the reader with the italics. Which loosened his neck and shoulders. Okay. Good drama here. On the edge of the bench, I'm not sure. He sat on the edge of the bench inside the bus. He sat in a front seat. I'm not sure what an aggravated sigh is. Let's just see his reaction. We don't need to explain his reaction. Which he had left. Who knew? Remember, stay in the past tense. Who knew where the figure might have gotten off to? Again, we're belaboring the point here. John knows that he may still be alive. Who know where, let's say that thing might, he wanted desperately, don't use so as an intensifier to make things right with her. He was close now. It had been. Okay, this is something that probably should have been addressed earlier because it's not going to be hard for the police to find a stolen bus. There's going to be people out in the dispatchers on the radio all over the place. Um, and again, don't belabor the obvious. He jumped back into the driver's seat and what did he do? Furiously navigated back on the course to her and aimed the bus in her direction. Let's leave it open for the next group. Is he going to go back to get to the? Is he going to go back to kill the figure, and tried to decide which way to go? What to do first? And the next group will have to decide whether he's going to go back and kill the creature or if he's going to go find Helen. So there we have it. Keep up the good work. Omit needless words. Keep the story moving.